Peace, y'all. It's the Lord here, Co-World. I'm over here kicking it with the guy, Jay Wiggs. What's going on, brother?
It's good, Brody.
Can't call it, man. Just want to welcome everybody to another episode of Brodies Sports Talk. We are on episode 4 in season 2. We got an update here. It's been weeks in the making, but for those who have been following the Brodies from episode 1, we finally got our soundboard back.
Let's go, clap it up. No, it might have been since season 1, episode 4, because we had it for the first couple of episodes. So imagine that if it was episode 4 that we lost it, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, so it's been months since we had it, but we definitely made it do what it do. We made do with what we had, but we got the soundboard back finally. But before we get started, as usual, we want to thank everybody for the support. If you're not following us, you need to be following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Click on the bottom right-hand corner, like and subscribe here for your boys. But to go ahead and get started, it's the nightcap version of Brody Sports Talk. Game 3 just finished between Oklahoma City and the Pacers. Great game. We've been saying it. Anytime Halliburton shows up, anytime Tyrese Halliburton turns into what the Hallie, they end up winning. So out here in the DMV, we're in full mode here with the summertime, but we're getting a mixture of weather here. So the final forecast is kind of mixed up right now. Is it going to be a thunderstorm, or it's going to rain steady, at a steady pace here? So Wiggs, to get started, for the first 3 games here, we had 2 close games and a blowout. So the final destination segment we did last week was basically asking, will this matchup deliver? So far, is this matchup delivering?
Hell yeah, Hallie, yeah. What the hell, Hallie? What the Hallie? Yeah, man, this matchup is delivering because my prediction was wrong already. I said Thunder in 5. Pacers are 2-1. Like, I'm looking at my notes. I got my notes wrong. I still wrote the number backwards. This is unbelievable. Or I shouldn't say it's unbelievable because people said this was going to be a good matchup. And what makes fights, what makes NBA basketball games, especially playoff series, matchups. And when you look at the Pacers, their starting 5 matches up well. We noticed it in the Knicks series. When you have Hallie, especially like you just said, Co, when Hallie's playing the way that he can play at a high level, it makes them dynamic. And they already have big Siakam, Miles Turner. They have really good defenders in Neesmith and Nembhard. And you add Hallie into that mix, that's a great team. Like, that's a great setup for a team. So everybody expects the Thunder to win. So to see the underdog winning, that's always going to be a great thing in sports.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what makes it even more entertaining is, like I've been saying, these are 2 organizations where the fan base hasn't seen them win a championship. So I'm really for either team winning. I did pick Oklahoma City in 7, and at this pace, it's
looking good.
Yeah,
at least
7 games, at least 6. So it's good to see the competition. One thing that we talked about last week was the inconsistency of Halliburton, right? You can't put up 35 points and then have 7 points the next game. It's got to be consistent. And one thing that I noticed, in the game today with SGA was something similar to James Harden, which is he's relying too much on drawing fouls and trying to get to the free throw line rather than making a play. Like there was one instance where he was driving to his left side. Two instances. He drove to his left side. He dipped his shoulder in a little bit and did a step back from the corner free throw line. Classic move, money in the bank every time. But then there was another play when he tried to do it again, but he was going to drive in, for a layup. He tried to, do the lean in to draw contact. He did, but the defender kept his hands up. He stayed steady the entire time, and he just threw up some whack, shot, and it was a no call. And
That's when you see him do that flop when he was
yeah, and it's like, okay, granted, if you can exploit it. I have no problems with you exploiting the rules when it comes to just certain things, but at the same time, you can only go to the well but so many times. Like, you got to remember this is still the finals, so you can't rely on that. You're going to get that in the regular season. That's what James Harden just can't make peace with. You're going to get that in the regular season, but in the playoffs, in the championship, some refs aren't going to let that fly. As you can see, they were calling some ticky tack fouls, but then they also picked and choose when they weren't. And it's like you can't rely on that. And on top of the 19 plus turnovers, again, this time with OKC, you can't win like that.
Not facts. So two things. One, it looks like the Wizards streak of players that were on the Wizards team getting a championship is still alive. There's a player in the Pacers that was drafted the same year we drafted Bilal Coulibaly. I don't even know the guy's name because he's on the bench. He's not good, but he used to be on the Wizards and now he's with the Pacers. So that streak could continue.
It's starting to seem like that's a Washington sports trend, because there was a lot of Skins players that left and ended up winning Super Bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah. But the other thing I wanted to was it just piggyback on the SGA take. And I think I've been saying it, Cole. He reminds me of Allen Iverson, but I think that's your comparison is like merge those together. AI with Harden. That's the modern SGA type of player.
Yeah,
because you have to try to get fouls in today's NBA, or at least you have to be going to the paint. And I think that's the one thing with SGA's game and a lot of players' game when it comes to the playoffs. It's a lot harder to drive into the hole when you're playing good defenses. And the refs are letting them play physical, and you're seeing the Pacers play defense, like you said, with their hands up better than probably any team in the league. And I would say maybe only the Thunder play better defense. Alex Caruso still had a great game out there trying to defend Halliburton. But SGA, I mean, yeah, it's just sometimes that would be my biggest thing with the Thunder is if SGA doesn't look good, who else is not going to look good? Like their team kind of just gets the ball and moves the ball around without looking like they know what they're doing out there. So yeah,
that's kind of the trade-off with young teams, right? Halliburton is starting to grow into his own where he's realizing that he has to be more of an offensive threat early in the game. He said that last week. And to your point with SGA really being their cash cow, they don't really require Chet and J-Dub to, really be that consistent person because, SGA.
Anybody can go off. Like I think the game before this, Jalen Williams went off.
Yeah, but SGA is steady Eddie. He's going to give you 30 a night, and sometimes Chet and J-Dub don't have to do 20 plus to win. But, to your point, Jalen Williams, he had 26 points, so very solid. Dort had 12 points, very solid, 4 rebounds, no assists, though. Chet, 20 and 10, all solid. Shea, 24 and 8. So, like, he was.
You could say Shea had an off night, I guess.
Yeah, basically, because he needs to do 30 to 35 along with the other two doing their 20 and 10 or 15 and 10 in order to give them a chance. Because, like I said, they average 114 points a game. So,
what was the field goal percentage?
Let's see,
or at least just the field goals made and attempted.
So, 46.8% field goal percentage to Pacers 51.8.
51 is crazy. Like that means OKC is not effective on defense. But I would say the Pacers offense is great. They have a really good system.
Pacers offense is great. I would say one of the standouts was your boy Benedict. He dropped 27.
Okay. Damn, yeah, that's nice.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the contributing factor because Siakam and Halliburton were the only two people that scored in double digits in the starting five.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me hear the Pacers numbers, field goal percentage wise.
So
That's interesting.
yeah, so they were 51.8. Their 3-pointers were 33.3.
I'm sorry, they don't have the players like Halliburton's specific field goal,
Let's see. No, they just
like
got
the
to.
box score.
Let me go to the box score and see if they have that here.
Yeah, let me see because I want to hear what Shea and Halliburton were.
Looks like they just have that here. 76% free throw for OKC to 86 of Pacers. So that also
Yeah,
out of the
that's
game
a
there.
playing part. You getting to the line, but are you making them?
Right. This is just AI generated, so it doesn't have it broken down.
Okay. Okay.
But,
Okay.
but as you can see, turnovers, missed free throws. They clearly gave up a lot of points in the paint. And yeah, I mean, and this is just showing the how green these players still currently are. I mean, it's game 3.
Both teams. Yeah.
It's what I'm saying, it's tied 1-1. And that crowd was loud, man. I don't think I've ever seen Indiana that hype before. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I don't.
Reggie Miller was in the building. So yeah, man, it was a good atmosphere. It's not easy to win in there, and it was close the whole game. And it's, as soon as they just like had that one slip in momentum, that's when once that putback dunk was done, I was like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, like you said, Benedict really played well, and I felt like he matched up well with the Thunder because they have a lot of big forwards. They have a lot of guys that are fast, strong. Caruso's good at the guard position, but I think Benedict had a play late in the fourth quarter where he was. I think they got a steal. They passed it up to Benedict. Caruso's in front of him, and Benedict just goes around him. Like he goes around Caruso like, you too small for me. And that really was a matchup difference. And the Pacers are playing with house money right now. Like they're the underdog. They're not supposed to beat this Thunder team. Nobody's picking them to win really, unless you're probably a Pacers fan. I almost kind of forgot that they were home, like until the game started. Go ahead.
No, I was saying they shouldn't even be there.
Like they really should. Yeah, not facts. So I don't want to switch up. I definitely don't want to switch up because this series, if it goes 7, it's still going to end in OKC.
Yeah.
But seeing the Pacers play like this, it really does feel like if Halliburton continues to do what he can do, like don't fall back asleep now. You're up 2-1. You got to win 2 more games out of what? 4 more?
Yep.
Like they got to win 3 out of 4. Go get one for Indiana. Like you'll be a legend. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to for the rest of this series. Are you switching up your choice, Code?
Right. Like I'm not gonna front, man. I think I want OK. I want OK. I think OKC's still gonna win, but I think I want Indy to win, man, for real. Because
For real.
Like not just for Halliburton, but for Reggie Miller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for Indiana, for real.
Yeah,
man.
but for that franchise, that would be so dope because it's like Indiana's had their chances to win titles. With Reggie Miller and company.
Malice in the Palace was the last time.
Yeah, with Paul.
No. Malice in the Palace. So that's when Ron Artest and Steven Jackson went into the stands in Detroit. Reggie Miller, that was his last year. When they had a really good team. So when those players got suspended, it just messed them up.
That's right. Because I remember it was some reel with Mark. What's the name? The dark skin dude. The dude.
The center.
You just said his name.
Oh, Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson. He had Reggie Miller on his podcast, and he apologized to him. And I couldn't remember why, but yeah. That was a good season for them, but like the Paul George Pacers as well when they were going up against the Heat, so they've had their chances, but they would just fall short. So I would like to see the Pacers win, but at the same time, OKC, they've had so many great players that never delivered. You have 4 MVPs, and not one of them delivered a title. So that would be good for them to get off the snide on that one. So. Let us know what you think there, Brodies. I think I'm going to switch up my pick. I think I'm going Pacers in 7. I think OKC is going to win. Let me be clear. I think OKC is going to win. But if you're going to ask me who I would like to win, give me the Pacers in 7.
Okay. Okay. Hey, next game is on Friday, so hey, I love that.
All right. So click on the bottom right hand corner, like and subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and like and share, and tell a friend to tell a friend. But moving on, we're going to be switching back to the gridiron over here. Football season is starting to kick off. Mini camp has started. Some players have not shown up to OTAs, and now they have not shown up to mandatory mini camp where you can start getting fined. And it's not just in Washington; it's all over the league. You know, Trey Henderson out there in Cincy. You got a couple of rookies as well in Cincy that aren't that don't want to show up. You got is it TJ Watt? It's CJ Watt, right?
No, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, who's holding out as well in Pittsburgh. He wants more money, and then of course you got Terry McLaurin in Washington. So my next segment, or our next segment rather, I really want to pick your brain on this, Wiggs. Hold up. Oh, hold out. Like, you have signed a contract which you have pledged a commitment and an obligation to show up to work for a very, very big amount of money. And some of these players, I get the business of the NFL and why they do it, but I don't get for the life of me how someone can sign a contract and be committed to something and then complain about not being paid enough towards the end of the contract. So, like, I guess my question is, Wiggs, should the NFL create, or should the Players Association create some type of statute of limitations where it's like, look, if you sign a contract, you cannot hold out until it, like, at least the last year of the contract or something like that? What do you think?
I think they can, but I think the NFL is in such a business world that they'll create some other stipulation. I think you see Trey Hendrickson saying that he'll retire if he has to. Like, and I think that's what players will do. If you say we can't hold out, we'll just retire until you say, all right, we'll trade you instead of, not being able to have you. So I don't know that you can build a stipulation around it, but I love the suggestion because play your contract out, and like, you guys are making millions of dollars, and I don't want to sound like these people that are out there like, oh, you guys make millions, just shut up and take the money. Nah, I definitely think they deserve. What do you say?
No, I was saying, yeah, like people were saying, shut up and dribble.
Yeah, yep. So I'm definitely not a shut up and dribble person. These people deserve to make money. I think one of the contracts that I'm looking at that is kind of crazy, like James Cook in Buffalo, he's still on his rookie contract. I think it's like 3 years, $5 million. He deserves to make more money. Like, the running backs are getting their contracts redone. We saw Saquon, we saw Derrick Henry. James Cook is right there. The Buffalo was right there in the playoffs. James Cook is, this many touchdowns this year and the year before. He's a huge part of their offense. He's a big reason that they went further in the playoffs this year. Was they were giving him the ball more, so making the offense a little bit more balanced. So again, yeah, I definitely think these players deserve. I said it last week. They deserve to get the money. However, I do agree with you. Like, if you sign a contract, what does a contract mean if you can hold out? What does a contract mean if you can retire whenever you want to? And again, if you really want to retire, go ahead and retire. Like, I'm not going to say you got to play your contract out and, your legs ain't working. Nah, we're not trying to say that, but
no.
Right. So, but I mean, we talked about it last week, Co. Laramie Tunsil and Marshawn Lattimore, they showed up to training camp. You can give me your thoughts on those two players, because I know you had a lot to say during the week about those two players if they didn't show up. So the fact that they did show up, I don't know if you have anything to say about that, Co.
I mean, they don't have any reason to not show up to mandatory mini camp. Now, OTAs is voluntary, and with veterans, sometimes they're like, look, I mean, if I come to OTAs, they're going to give me a bunch of stuff that they're already going to reiterate at minicamp. Most of the time, OTAs is to like get rookies acclimated and stuff like that. So there may be some things that Laramie can get caught up on at minicamp. No big deal. If again, it's voluntary. But my only beef with Lattimore was you had a horrible season last year. I get the stipulations of you being traded to this team late. You're coming off an injury, then you're getting thrown into the snake pit. You're against high quality wide receivers and Evans,
AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I get it. I get all that. But for me, it's just like it would show me that you're in it for the love of the game more than treating it like a job. Some people got to understand some of these players treat this like a job and some of them treat it like a career. Like they love the sport, they love their craft. Cool. But some dudes is like, yo, I was born mad athletic and I made the pros and I'm just in it for the money. This is just a job, so, and that can show like, if you're new to a company and they have like a company event, with food and entertainment and refreshments and you just got hired, what I'm saying? Wouldn't you think that, and they invited you, you wouldn't go, what I'm saying, to meet your new coworkers and managers and all that good stuff? I don't know. That just, to me, it just lacks professionalism. But again, as far as the contracts go, for me, if you sign a 3-year deal, you cannot come to me going into year 2 of your deal talking about you want more money just because you had a great year 1. Well, congratulations, brother. That's what I'm paying you to do. I just cut you a check for $23 million, and now you're saying you want 30. And it's like, well, if you don't give it to me, I'm not gonna play. Well, yeah. It's like the sense of entitlement. I'm like, the owners don't make it easy. I get it. They don't pay players what they should. We already know how the running backs have been getting treated. I get all that. I'm not sitting up here trying to lobby for the GMs and all that. But what I am saying is Terry McLaurin has had his first real big breakout year. I understand he hadn't had a quarterback, but this is his first breakout year. And he may be getting a little big-headed when he's not elite. He's not a top 10 elite.
Hold up, Cody. The fans don't want to hear that.
Receivers. I can name 10 wide receivers better than him. So it's
you might
like
have to do it, Cody. Hold on, you might have to do it.
Okay. So I
might have to put you on the spot. I'll write them down.
We got Jamar Chase.
All right.
We got Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
We got Tyreek Hill.
Better than last year or just period?
You trying to tell me you wouldn't take Tyreek Hill this year? We know why he didn't play well. Come on now.
I'm not saying me. I'm just making sure we looking at the same criteria. Not last year. Not last overall. Okay.
Yeah, but just Tyreek Hill. So that's 3. Okay. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. Give me Puka Nacua.
Puka. Ooh, that's close too.
Even at his age, give me Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Give me Mike Williams.
Okay. Mike Evans. Mike Evans.
My fault, Mike Evans.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, give me Garrett Wilson.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
Okay. I mean
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8.
Garrett Wilson from a separation standpoint.
Okay.
Like he can separate with the best of them.
You got 8. You getting? I don't know, Cope. Can you give me 2 more?
Yeah, I can give you 2 more. So, CD Lamb.
Oh, for sure, CD. For sure,
yep. CD Lamb.
What about his teammate George Pickens?
I mean, I would put him in the same tier with Terry.
Okay. What about DK?
I take DK Metcalf over Terry. So there's your 10.
Okay, so that's a good transition into a little bit more Terry conversation. Should Terry make more than DK Metcalf? So
I'm looking here at someone that he got 4 years, 132 million, 60 million guaranteed with a $30 million signing bonus over 4 years. So right now Terry's at like 23 million a year. I think he's I think
That's
he's
not bad.
that's not
23 is not bad.
bad at all. I think that Terry he should get right around the same range as DK Metcalf, like 28 to 30 million. 32 is pushing it because he's 30 years old. If he was like 26, 27, like Jamar Chase and them, it'd be different. But he's going into he'll be 30 in September. So, you know, another three
This
years.
might be his last big contract if it's 4 years.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So I get why he wants to cash out now. So I'm all for getting his money. He's a stand-up guy. He's a hard worker. He is a number one wide receiver. Okay. So I don't want any Commanders fans giving us backlash, but we're also football fans. We got to be realistic here. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, Terry McLaurin is top 15, top 10, top 15. So him getting 30 some odd million a year is top 5. He's not top 5. But the market is what the market is. So we got the cap space, pay the man, get him in minicamp because I don't want him to miss a second of continuity with 5.
how many years guaranteed, though? 2 or 3? Because you talked about DK's contract. We also looked at Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins' contract. So T. Higgins is the number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase is the number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase got, I believe it was 112 or 115 guaranteed.
Yeah.
Which came out to about 28 million. So he got 4 years guaranteed at 28 million. And Higgins got basically half of that, about 57, 58 million guaranteed, which comes out to about 28 million a year. Do you think Terry gets 2, 3, or 4 years guaranteed?
I think they're going to give him a 3-year contract extension because they have Adam Peters has 2 big contracts in particular to worry about next year, and that's Louisville and Tunsil. So he has to give him at least 3 years because by then it's going to be a cheap discount contract. Today's expensive contract is tomorrow's bargain. So if he extends them out further, then it gives him some more space to work for Tunsil and Louisville because I think Louisville might mess around and have a breakout year this year. And we don't want to, we can't lose him because Wagner is most likely going to be gone after this year.
Well, I won't say that because I think Wagner is going to be our London Fletcher. And I think London played a lot more years than I thought he was going to. Like, he really came here and he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I think you said it before, Co.
Yeah.
Get London Fletcher in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. His numbers say it. Let's get him in there, man.
And Joe Jacoby. He's like the only member of the Hogs and that Skins dynasty in the 80s and 90s that isn't in. But yeah,
I got a couple more questions though, Co, on just this free agency topic. Like you said, holdout. Should players be obligated to play under a contract? Let me just go back to that because I think you started off this segment, and I think like I said, I agree with damn near everything you said. Like, players should have to play out these contracts if they sign it. What's the point of having a damn contract? It's like NBA players. NBA players, they know they're getting guaranteed money, so you don't really see them holding out. Like, they might want to go to a different team, but they're not really saying, I'm not playing because you're not paying me enough money. NBA players are getting enough money, and mostly because it's guaranteed. If you guarantee these contracts, a lot of this goes away. Like, if Terry knew that 23 was, and again, the 23 this year that he's going to get is probably guaranteed, but now he wants at least 3 more years. I think he wants to be around 84 million guaranteed. So, yeah, I think if you guarantee these contracts, a lot of this goes away.
Yeah.
They can do that in the CBA. I don't know if the NFL wants to do that because that's giving the players more. And owners, they're very cheap, very stubborn, billionaires. That's how rich people stay rich.
Exactly.
So I don't see them giving the players that, but that will solve their problems. And you got the money. It's like the NBA billionaires are smart enough to realize if we pay the players and they don't have to worry about money, we'll have a better product. Yep. And I think the NBA does have, I won't say it's a better product than the NFL, but as far as contracts go, you hear no complaints out of NBA players, and I think that's a great system. The baseball system, you don't hear any complaints. They have a arbitration. They get that stuff handled. The NFL again is the sport that you can get injured at the easiest. Excuse me. But you don't have guaranteed contracts. Like,
yeah,
let's just get that.
It's weird. And one thing about the NBA contracts that I like, they give them an opt out choice. Like you can opt out, but only after a certain amount of time served. So it's like we sign you to 5 years. You can opt out of your 5th year, but you're going to play for this team at least 4 years, and we're going to pay you $150 million guaranteed.
Facts.
Team sucks, but at the end of each game, when you got that $750,000 net paycheck hanging in your locker room, I don't think you're going to care, and you're going to show up to practice on time too. You know what I'm saying?
And you either have a no trade clause or a trade clause.
Yeah. And that's the issue with the NFL. The contracts aren't guaranteed, to your point. It's more physical, so you can, get injured a lot easier. And that's another reason why Terry didn't show up. I mean, we might have lost Brown for the year. Normally a non-contact injury when you get carted off the field is normally some type of ligament tear. So there goes our slot or our third receiver right now. So,
even more reason to get Terry in here. Like,
exactly.
We're down one. Let's get who we need. Who's going to be in the game? Let's get him here.
Let's get it done. And I think unfortunately, this injury might work in Terry's favor. To your point, like, hey, look, you saw Brown go down. I'll be more than welcome to come back, but my numbers got to be right. But let us know what you think there, Brodies. Should the NFL players be obligated to play out their entire contract, or at least up to the last year? Let us know what you think. Click on the bottom right-hand corner on YouTube and like on Instagram, TikTok, and like and share and tell a friend to tell a friend. But wrapping up the segments here, we're going to go on to the AFC side of our division vision here. Now, like I said in the last episode, if you want to get to the Super Bowl, the 2 easiest ways is to get the number 1 seed. You'll have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, or to win your division, and you'll guarantee at least 1 playoff game at home before they change the seeding rules. Now, to start off, we got the AFC North. Wiggs and I both are taking the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Cincinnati might make a case. Yeah, Cincinnati might make a case now that they got their people locked up, but their defense isn't sure because Hendrickson is holding out. They still got King Henry out there in Baltimore, and I think Lamar Jackson is pissed that he didn't get the MVP last year, and he also exited the playoffs unexpectedly. So, people are tired of them. People are saying, "Hey, run the ball more in the playoffs," and blah 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 blah. I think they're going to get it right this time, possibly. So, and it's going to start with winning the division. What do you think, Wiggs?
You know what I just thought about with Baltimore? They don't have Justin Tucker, and I don't know if that's going to be a distraction for them next year because they've kind of slipped under the radar with all of the Justin Tucker news. But that's a huge story, and again, like you said,
that's next
coming off. That's a X factor, and coming off that playoff loss that they had last year, there may be questions at certain positions. Quarterback is locked up, running back is locked up, but tight end, do you trust my guy? What's his name? What's the tight end for the Ravens, man?
Andrews.
Yeah, do you trust Mark Andrews?
Or
do you go to the other one?
Likely and Andrews. They're good targets. Don't get me wrong. They got some wide receivers out there, but the bottom line is you have arguably one of the greatest running backs of all time in the backfield, and arguably one of the greatest dual threat quarterbacks of all time. Run the damn ball.
What we say last year, run the damn ball at least 20 to 25 times.
Just run the ball. I don't understand why it's so hard. Like, I get it. We're in a passing league. Lamar can pass. He's showing that he can pass. And I know you want to prove all the haters wrong. But proving the haters wrong is winning with a style they say you can't win with versus a style they say you can't do. I mean, he's a double-edged sword. They say he can't pass, so he's trying to win a Super Bowl passing. They say you can't win running the ball. He refuses to try. So for me, it's like you can, like Derrick Henry has one more. He put up 1,900 yards last year.
And got a new contract.
He's going to give you 1,500 yards next year. I guarantee it. We can put money on that, barring injury. Okay, right. But if he gives you a full season, he's going to give you 1,500 yards. So, I don't understand why they just refuse to just be who they are. But I think this is going to be the year where I guess where the light bulb switches. But definitely give me the Baltimore Ravens for the AFC North.
And I think you made a good point too, Co. The Bengals, I think, are number 2. The Steelers, big news. Aaron Rodgers just signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you were saying Kirk Cousins, but I don't think Kirk Cousins has enough cachet to push himself out of Atlanta right now. You don't have a leg to stand on, Kirk Cousins. Like, you're not that guy anymore, so you can't push your way out of there because we don't know what we're getting with you. I think Aaron Rodgers gives you a little bit more as far as quarterbacks go. And I think Pittsburgh was waiting on Aaron Rodgers. We saw them pass up on Shador. That was a huge story. And it's like, if you pass up on Shador, you got to have somebody in mind. Yeah. We see Aaron Rodgers go there. So I think the Steelers will be good, but I don't think they will be any better than they were last year. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields played great for them last year when you look back at it. So I don't see any issues there. And Joe Burrow is probably going to have a repeat big season. Both of his receivers are signed. The defense is not there. Shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals ownership for probably screwing up another chance that they have at going deep into the playoffs because they're just not serious about paying their players over little things. So we'll see what happens with that. But I got Ravens, and I'll ask you a question after we finish all of these. But we both have Ravens.
Yeah, and also I want to make a quick point too with the holdouts. That affects the team. Like, how many times have you seen a player hold out and then they don't have a good season? It affects the team the whole 9. But like you said, none of that would happen if you have guaranteed contracts. And Kirk Cousins has no problems being on the bench, getting paid $86 million.
Nah, facts. That's where that guaranteed money comes in handy right now.
No bull. So now we go back to the West Side, AFC edition. Another unanimous decision. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. It's their division to lose until further notice. There's really not much to say. Maybe the Broncos might have a chance. They have a pretty solid team. But maybe the Chargers, but I don't believe in Justin Sherbert. So
hey, I like that, Dave.
Yeah, he turns into Sherbert when the game's on the line. But give me the Chiefs. What you think, Wicks?
Yeah, same, man. I think they were like 14-2 or 15-1 last year at one point, and there were a lot of close games. But when you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you have a chance every single week. Outside of the Super Bowl, they didn't have a chance against the Eagles. Every other team, especially regular season, I got the Chiefs being very competitive. They bring back a lot of wide receivers. So again, barring injury, and that goes for every team in all of these divisions, the Chiefs should be the number 1 team, maybe in the entire conference, but in the division for sure. And I think, like, you're right, the Broncos are next. I like their coach and their quarterback connection a little bit more. The Chargers, coach and quarterback are really good, but Justin Sherbert showed us who he was last year in the playoffs. Like, you're not that guy, Justin. Like, you're a Kirk Cousins clone. You're not that guy when the playoffs come. You haven't showed us anything. So why would I put my faith in you? Not right now.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. All right. So moving on here, we are going to AFC South. Now, I think this is another unanimous one. We got the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans, maybe that's
what I was thinking.
If Cam Ward has a solid season, maybe Indy. Anthony Richardson
He
I
just
think,
went down with that little injury. I don't know if it's serious or not.
yeah, like he's showing that he can't stay healthy or consistent. So, and they just picked up Nick Chubb out there, so now they got Nick Chubb and Mixon. So they got a pretty nice thing going on over there. The defense is solid. AFC South is going to be in Houston. The title's going to be in Houston until further notice.
For sure. Yeah, I will go with the Texans. And I mean, you've been spot on, Cole, because I have the Titans coming in next. And again, this is just, I'm thinking first teams that come to mind. I think Cam Moore wants to be the next good rookie quarterback. You had Stroud, you had Jaden Daniels. I think Cam Moore wants to be the next one that can come in and go to the playoffs right away. We saw Stroud do it. We saw Daniels do it. I think Cam Ward might be able to do it because the Titans have a good defense. I don't know if their offense will be good enough next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if Cam Ward can be the difference maker. But right now, it's CJ Stroud's conference. It's his division to lose.
Yeah, I agree. And then finalizing everything here, we got the AFC East. Now, this is the only division that Wiggs and I are not agreeing on, and understandably so. Might be a little bit of a bias there, but this team is actually still pretty good despite what they did last year. And that is going to be the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East again, and Wiggs is going to be taking the Miami Dolphins to steal it. Now, the Buffalo Bills are coming off of a very good year. Their quarterback, Josh Allen, won a de facto MVP.
Him and Shea.
Yeah, it's a politically correct season for him. But I mean, justified, none the least because when they lost Stephon Diggs, they didn't think he was going to do that well. So, so definitely an MVP caliber season worth mentioning. And it's their division to lose until further notice from me. I don't think the Patriots are doing anything. They're in reset mode. They're going to be at the bottom of the division for the foreseeable future, just for football karma, for being on top of the division and the NFL for 20 freaking years. It's only right. And then you got the Jets that are still refueling, no pun intended. So they haven't been cleared for takeoff yet. They're still going, they're still loading the luggage.
On the runway there.
Yeah, they haven't been cleared for takeoff yet, so we don't know what's going on with the Jets. So it's only going to be a duke out between Miami, who's still solid. I mean, they got Tyreek Hill, they got Waddle, they got a Chin. When healthy, Tua is one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league, and their defense is
healthy.
Yeah, and I still like their coach too. So it's a West Coast style type of offense out there. They still have. So I don't see any reason why they can't throw their hat in the competition. But I'm rolling with the Bills. You're going with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, man, give me my Dolphins. And we do this every year. We play well at some point during the league. Oh, I know exactly when it's hot outside. Miami looks good when it's hot outside. We're going to do the same thing next year. Tyreek's going to come out, have outstanding numbers, and then all you fantasy people, trade Tyreek early. When Tyreek does what he does, trade him early because when it gets cold, Tua is going to be hurt. That turf is going to get hard. Tua is going to hit his head, concussion, out. Tyreek, might as well trade him to a new team. Might as well trade him to the Commanders. I don't know about that, but that could be incredibly dangerous. But let me stay on topic.
I take Hill and McLaurin any day. With Debo?
That's, to me, that puts it over the top. Like
Super Bowl.
But yeah, the Dolphins can do it, but I do think the Jets, if they can return that defense to form, and if Justin Fields, people say Justin Fields is the most, I don't want to say most athletic, but they say he's the best running quarterback in the league right now, in a league that has Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he's decent. I mean, people forget that 1,000-yard season he put up in Chicago.
To say you can be better than Lamar Jackson is saying a whole lot. So if Justin Fields, he's getting another chance to be a starting quarterback. We saw, I think he was 4-2 as a starter with Pittsburgh. Yep. They wanted to re-sign Justin Fields, and he said, "Nah, y'all took me out for Russell. when I was 4-2. Why would I want to go back to you? Like,
Right.
I'm not going back to that ex. I'm moving on to the next one. So I think Justin Fields could do some stuff. But Josh Allen is newly married. He got his girl. His girl was a big star in Sinners. Shout out to Ryan Coogler and Smoking Stack. But Josh Allen said the girl is mine, dog, and this is my year.
The light skinned vampire, that's his wife?
Hey, you called her light skinned. She was black passing in the movie, right?
Yeah, she light skinned, red bone. Little red bone.
That's a white woman, Cole. What you mean, dog? I mean, I think she's 1/8 black. But
she black.
She black. But she white. But hey. It's a complicated thing in America.
Right person?
You said what?
She's the right person. I mean, the right person. She got some flavor in her for sure.
Hey, she did really good in that movie, man. Shout out to Haley Steinfeld and in the Spider-Verse. You know, I'm a big fan, so. And
shout out to McGruber too, because I think Sinners is now the 9th highest grossing horror movie of all time.
Not Magruder, my nigga Ryan Coogler. Right? Magruder is the Boondocks.
Oh yeah, I'm
so you in the right genre. You in the right genre. But yeah, no, you said I think 6th highest grossing horror film, right?
Yeah, 9th or 6th, something like that. But like they had it was like $100 million budget, and they said that he came out of his pocket like more than half of it. Like he came out a lot for the budget. So I'm glad that he got his residuals on that one.
Facts. Yeah, shout out to him, man.
But yeah, I mean that concludes the division vision there. Those are our division picks there. I wonder if there's other channels that are going to be following up and reiterating what we were doing here. Like I mean, I don't know what's going on. And like I got a bone to pick. You know what? I'm going to introduce a new segment called what grinds my gears. Or I'm gonna have to come up with a segment where I can just get my feelings out my soapbox, because I'm starting to feel some type of way. I'm starting to feel some type of way.
Oh boy!
They
guys, know who they are. They know exactly who they are.
You guys are stealing our stuff. Like if you guys are going to sit
that's
here,
the industry though. That's it. I mean, that's what they would say. This is how the industry works.
I mean, there's a difference between like we watch FS1 from start to finish, like in the morning. Everybody talks about the same stuff for the most part, in their own perspectives. So I'm not going to sit here and say that all of our topics are exclusive, and no one in the sports industry talks about these particular topics, but the Brodies. But my dude, like it's getting a little too consistent here. Like, I mean, because like I'm literally coming up with some of these topics off the top of my head.
Bro, we're off the top of the dome. Pause.
Yeah, like before we even hit record. And ironically enough, after this show is posted on YouTube, you guys over this joint with the Twitter fingers, like, what are the Brodies doing? Okay, we got our topics for today. And I'm like, I'm gonna start posting our stuff early.
No, I think I saw one of your joints on one of the pages. Like it was like a trade request or something like that, and you said it, and then the very next day they were like, "Oh yeah, this player should go here," and I'm like,
"It was Nick Chubb and J.K. Dobbins." The Brodies were talking about that trade to Washington before ESPN, before Team 980, before anybody. We were the ones who were talking about that first, and then the moment that Tony B said that the Bears should pick up Nick Chubb.
Literally, he did bring it up.
Literally the next day, it's on the news feeds. I'm like, hey. Everybody ain't thinking the same thing. Some of y'all is some moles. I don't know, Wiggs. Who you got in your camp over there? That's spilling the exclusive stuff, man. Somebody's leaking the business.
Hey.
Maybe she's doing it while I'm asleep or something. I don't know. Who's paying y'all?
We got spies in the camp, dog.
We got spies, man. Maybe StreamYard is giving them the information because we ain't
no book.
We're using the free platform. They're like, we're about to share the information like the credit bureau.
Right.
But yeah, man. But you said you had a question after everything?
Oh yeah. So Who you got as the number one team in the AFC? Who do you have coming out of the AFC in the playoffs
Repping the AFC for the Super Bowl.
for the Super Bowl? Yep.
Early predictions.
And who gets the number one seed for the regular season?
Early predictions. Give me Baltimore versus Philly. Early prediction. Give me Baltimore versus Philly, both number one seeds.
The hood playoffs. Okay. Baltimore versus Philly. We can go right up 95, man.
Hey, yo, the level of niggerdom. Excuse me, y'all. The level of niggertree that's going to go down between them two cities is going to be uncanny.
Baltimore is on the way up. We see with Philly. Philly shows their ass any chance they get. So they're ready. They're ready. And Baltimore has they've been waiting to celebrate success. They've been coming up short, but when you have Lamar Jackson, you got an MVP, you got a fighting chance. So
yep, and pull out the Chiefs. Got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, they got Mahomes. The Bills have Allen. I mean, I think it's between those and Joe Burrow. I think those are your real competitors. But I'm with you. I'm going Ravens. I think the Ravens. I think Lamar is going to get MVP again, and I think the Ravens are going to win the chip this year.
Yeah, so. I think like bold predictions, but I'm thinking Lamar has 1,000 yards rushing, and King Henry has 2,000 yards rushing.
That'd be tough.
He hit 2,000 yards before, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so I think he'll be the first running back to do it twice. I don't think that's
he was only like 60 yards away last year.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever done that twice. So yeah, he'll be the first running back to run for 2,000 yards twice in multiple seasons. So
he's built for it, man.
We'll see how it for it
tough.
We'll definitely see how it goes, but that does it for today, y'all. Again, if you're not following us, you need to be clicking on the bottom right-hand corner on YouTube and liking and subscribing on Instagram and TikTok as well. What do you think next week? Should we start the top 50?
Hey, let's do it. Hey, let the people know now. Don't. Or matter of fact, we might not be able to tell them when we're gonna start, because then we're gonna see them do it.
Right.
Next week,
we'll throw it out there, but like the top 50 fantasy football players is on their way. Like I probably say around July or August, the NFL does a show called the Top 100, where they rank the top 100 players in the NFL. The Brodies are going to do something a little different. We're going to be ranking the top 50 fantasy players. Because once football season starts, we're going to be ramping up our fantasy segments again with Wigs, Parlay Locks, and also our fantasy picks. So we're going to be helping.
Hey, let me get the soundtrack, Code. Let me get the soundtrack, now. We back, now.
We go back, yo. Y'all, it's the Lord Head Code. It's the guy Jay Wiggs. It's Brody Sports Talk. We'll see y'all next week, y'all. Peace.
Okay.